day trading recap for Tuesday, February 18th, 2020. This is the trade I took. It took me a while to get one today. There was a lot of stuff going on, but I just couldn't find entries for a lot of stocks or a lot of plays today. This one I did take, which was Kroger, and it was moving in the pre-market. It didn't. It's going to have earnings next month, but for some reason I think it went up today because Warren Buffett acquired a stake in Kroger. So I guess it was like $549 million, it says. So that sent it up a little bit, and you can see on the daily chart that it went up pretty decent amount. Closed yesterday or Friday at 28.23, and it opened today at around 29 something, so close to 30. But it was all over the place to start. You can see I wanted to take it early in day here at around 9:55 at 30.24. The reason being, on the 1 minute chart, you could see I was watching at the open. It had a strong first 5 minutes, shot up. Then it regressed back to VWAP. And these are the ones I've been looking at a lot lately. It's the ones that come back to VWAP and then hold it. You could see, I'm going to open it up. You could see that when it came back to VWAP, it kind of held it. It broke below it, but then it came back above it. And there was a little indecision doji right here and a little bit extra more volume than normal. And it played off of that, came back up off of that, and just held VWAP and then jumped. And I wanted to get in here because as soon as I saw it jump, I said, all right, it regressed to VWAP, tried to break through it, but kind of held it, and then came back up and surged a little bit, especially with a little extra volume here. So I wanted to get in here at 30.23, set my stop below VWAP. Wouldn't need much more than 15 cents, really. You didn't even really need that much more than 10 cents, really, because it didn't really fall back at all. So 13.23 could have ridden it all the way up to 13.72, or 73 actually. It would have been a nice 50-cent gain. And then after that, I think it came back. That was where it topped off, and then it fell the rest of the day. So these plays I find hard to find entries in because I never know if it's just a little pullback or if it's going to fail big time. And here you can see it broke all the way back down to the low of the day and through it. So then it started coming back, and the reason I liked it is because when you look at it on this 5-minute chart, it was riding the 8 AMA, not smoothly, but smooth enough. Then it jumped up here, kind of held the 8 AMA, and then we get that nice 8 AMA crossing the 20 SMA, and that's a nice signal for a change in direction. Now, somebody asked me about this in another video, and I kind of tried to answer it best I could, but what I look for when this is happening, I am seeing this happen in real time. You don't know it's going to cross because obviously if a bad candle right here happens, it won't make that cross. I wait for the cross to happen and for the price to settle on that EMA. So you can see here it shot through the 8 EMA and the 20, and then those two moving averages crossed. You have the 8 crossing here. The stock moved up and then fell back to the 8 EMA and held it. And so when it held it here, that's when I got in. I actually didn't even wait for it. Smarter play would probably wait for it to hit here, hold it, and then as it starts moving back up, get in at around 29.72 or something. I got in right at 29.69. So I got in at 29.69, got a little nervous because it did hold it, but then it broke below it. But that 20 SMA was there to keep it from falling any further. That nice little support level is still there, so it held that. My stop, you can see I put it at 29.57. So if it got down to there, I was just going to quickly hit the exit button on my shares and get out. But it didn't do that. It held, and then it catapulted up. I took a little bit out before because it came really close to my 29.93. It kind of touched it, and then I missed it. So I got out some at 29.88. So just about 5 cents below where my first target was. And then it went all the way back up. I was hoping it would make a bigger break up. I would just ride it to my second target, my 3R, or at least to $30. I was thinking it could get back up to $30 because I didn't see too much resistance. But then once it like kind of flirted with my 2R again, as it moved above it, I put my stop right at my first target, and it eventually did come back down and hit my first target. And then you can see it's starting to move back down again. So it could continue back up, or it could just do nothing for the last 40 minutes of the day or so. Less than 40 minutes, but that was it. I like these stocks because they are, when you have gapping stocks like this, they have potential to move a pretty decent amount. You just have to find where that direction is. There's a lot of volume you could see, So when this cross happened, it's more significant. These crosses are more significant on stocks that have catalysts, the stocks that are moving for a reason, and obviously stocks with a lot of volume. So when that happened, it was just like a stock I played the other day, where I looked for that bounce off the low of the day and then across these two moving averages. And you're not always going to get a huge jump up, maybe not even like 50 cents or even 40 cents. But you can get a decent 30 cents gain, 25 to 30 cents or so. And that's what I was able to get here. So I got everything out at my first target. The rest of my shares out at my first target. So that was decent. This was a little less than half my shares, and this was a little bit this was the remaining amount here, a little bit more than half my shares from what I originally took out. Now there was one other trade I wanted to show. It ended up being a trade off of my wedge scan, which I've been still monitoring. It's been doing decent. If you look at this Twitter move was amazing off of my wedge scan. I'll show you better on this. So you can see here, and oh god, I should have played that, shouldn't I? 37.45. That would have been a nice move. But here, this little wedge scan alerted me at 9:52. So right here, when it broke through the 200 moving average and the VWAP, Twitter moved up and broke the at 36.96. I didn't get in, but look at this big move up, all from 36.96 to all the way up to 37.62. Regressed to VWAP, but even if you just held on to some shares all the way up, it's over $1. It's almost over $1, almost to $1 from where the alert was. So this was a nice. I love this scan. It doesn't always have big winners, but occasionally you'll get a nice move like this, like a Twitter. If everything lines up, it's nice. I did take actually BX off of this, and I'll show that to you on my other my 8 EMA. So this one, I took BX, and it turned out to be a good trade. I got out too early. So you can see here, the alert was at 63.10 at 9:40. Right here, I got in at 63. What did I get in? I got in a little after that, so I got in at 63.11. So just after the alert. But then I got nervous. It was kind of spready. It was moving really fast and kind of spready. So I wasn't too comfortable with it. Also, when you look at the daily chart, it just looked like a stock that was going to be negative for the day because it was moving down here. Had these kind of this downward motion from the last few days, and then this moving average here, and I just did not feel comfortable with it as a long. I did not think it was going to make much of a move up. And it looks like I was right. In fact, I should have been watching this stock as a potential short later in the day. But either way, it did actually hit my first target, but I was out. I got in at 63.11. I got out at 63.15 just for a 4-cent gain. I just wasn't comfortable, but eventually did go up to 63.43. So I was a little disappointed the way I played it. But it wasn't a great moving stock, and you can see it wasn't a runner because eventually it failed. Now this cross here, 8 EMA crossing the 20, this would have been a nice place to get in for a short, and I almost considered it, especially below a whole number of 63. Could have gotten in here at 62.95, ridden it all the way down to 61.91. I mean, that's a whole dollar. So I missed that. I don't know what I was looking at that point. I just couldn't make the move on that. But yeah, the big play for me today was Kroger, and missed the first chance at it, but I took the second one. These are the trades I used to be more comfortable with, the slow-moving later in the day trades where you can see the setup happening a little more gradually. These trades I'm still kind of getting used to. I wish I had the guts to take this trade at this point in the day. Could have had a nice move, two winning trades on one ticker for the day, but I didn't have the guts to do it, and it's fine. I eventually did get a nice trade out of it. So those were my trades. Let me know what you traded today. If you have any good trades, post a link if you put a video up for it, or let me see a screenshot of your trade. Always interested to learn how other people are trading. Good luck, and hopefully be back tomorrow with another video and another hopefully winning trade.